Chemtrails. Sees all.
Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe. I see a lot of new faces here. And of course, thanks my community, Christopher Stanger, my friend Gerald Dowling, and of course, Crawlface recently. Thanks, bro. I love you for the generous contributions. You guys, thank you very much. We're going to make it. We're going to get that big telescope and the infrared. Second generation on its way, and there's a chemtrail. So we're going to talk about gases in the clouds, which is really interesting. You know, in Antarctica, and of course the hole in the ozone, we're going to talk about it briefly. This chemtrail is going to become on fire when it gets to the front of the house, and that's what we're going to go see right now. There we are in the front of the house, and we're seeing a light that's inside of the cloud. Now, this is not the sunspots that I've showed in my other videos, where as the cloud will go by and that light will remain in the same place, that spotted rainbow reflective radiating light. But this is literally, first of all, it's a chemtrail. It was sprayed 1 of 15 during the afternoon here, just in my end. It was absolutely crazy how they were spraying the sky like usual. But this cloud has the radiation from the chemtrail. You see it radiating that toxic energy. Actually, they talk about this, and I'm learning about it on Mizio on a friend's channel, and they were saying, like, listen, the ozone, I want to say too many things at once. Let's talk about stratospheric, because I'm using my head, not Google right now. Stratospheric clouds in Antarctica, polarized, right? They say that stratospheric clouds are clouds, and I'm telling you, look them up. They're like this, but they're supposed to occur in Antarctica. And because of the hole in the ozone, what happens is the sunlight enters the holes, those holes of the ozones, okay? And usually when there's no holes, that beam of sun ray, the light, the ultraviolet light, is reflected straight back to the sun. There's no refraction. But now it's entering the dome, if you want, the ozone, the hole, and it's doing a greenhouse effect on Earth, heating up the oceans. Also, it's heating up the stratosphere itself, right? So when we talk about stratosphere clouds, it's usually 15,000 to, way up there, 30, 40, 50,000 feet, right? Maybe even higher stratospheric clouds, because of course it's in the stratosphere, right? You have all those levels. I mean, look them up, guys. There's so many. The mesosphere, you got the stratosphere, the atmosphere, the biosphere. It doesn't end. You've got all these levels, the thermosphere, as you're going through further away from Earth, thermosphere being the furthest. And then, of course, they're saying even Earth's atmosphere extends the reach of the moon itself. But anyways, I'm getting carried away. So, right, let's go to Antarctica. Let's see what NASA posts to give us an idea. This is a brief ideal, and that's what it is. It's that hole that is bigger or smaller depending on how cold or hot it is in Antarctica. So obviously you must understand now that since it's melting drastically, it always has been, but it's getting really bad now. The snow is leaving, right? We saw a couple of months ago, I don't know if you guys saw this. This is an infrared, by the way. Check it out. Yep. An island in Antarctica, I mean, it completely melted, right? Or 50% of it, something like that, but in a matter of a couple of hours. So the Earth is heating up a lot, right? Hey, look at the gases in this cloud. This is with the infrared color daytime camera. Now we're looking at it during the day with the infrared camera. And yeah, so that's straight up all the colors that you're seeing, those gases in the sky. It's rare I post the same videos in French and in English, exactly the same, but this part, I didn't want to change it because it was really cool to be able to see it. We're going to get in just a little bit closer to see those beautiful clouds, those beautiful killing toxic clouds. Death is beautiful, you know. That's what was sort of right. I mean, when a meteor comes to hit Earth and we're just waiting for that meteor, for example, and we're going to die, well, say to yourself, it is going to be a beautiful finale. You got to admit that. I mean, will it be worth taking pictures? Probably not. But I mean, what else do you want us to do? We'll just take pictures, post on YouTube. YouTube can leave us all posts for free that day. We'll be able to bitch online for free that day. It's the last day, the apocalypse. So let's get in close to that beautiful toxic cloud. So seriously, take a look around the sky this summer, and you'll notice you probably may not even see one of these. It's really not a sunspot, okay? You know what I mean by sunspot? It's the rainbow colors that are around the sun. When a cloud goes by, it will illuminate the cloud the same way that you're seeing here, but it remains in place. And this cloud itself, the entire cloud, is the only cloud in the sky right now, against the sun, by the way, as it's setting, that is having these colors. And now I'm going to take the time to show you the other finding last year, actually. If you guys remember this, it's sundogs, sunspots, many terms that they have, caused by crystallization. They say a bunch of stories in the sky, just, the sun refracting off of what? Nothing. Look at the cloud moving over. Do you see how the light's not following the cloud? Because that's what I want to show you. I know a lot of people aren't going to understand even now what I'm saying, probably, but the ones of you following are like, duh, I get it. The first cloud I showed you was the cloud that was on fire. The cloud is the one that has this color. Now look at the light move over. We'll play it faster here. I love this. I love this image. It's a beautiful thing to see, right? The sunspots are beautiful. And look at the cloud moving over, and you see the sunspot remains in place. So that sun is refracting off of the clouds, right? And I'll go back, and not right away. I want to see the rest of these scenes. They're really, really cool. Bring down the exposure. No trickery here, And that light is remaining in place as the clouds are going by. But remember at the beginning, I showed you the cloud, and the cloud itself has that entire color on it. So I'm doing comparisons, right? How often do we see colors like that? There's 6 or 7 different terms and reasons for these colors to appear, which is important to know. It's not just a sunspot. This one, yes, they say, is a sunspot. There was one of 3 that I could see around the sun, and it's just this intense light that picks up and clashes off of the clouds as they're going by, and sometimes you can see some pretty beautiful, beautiful sights. There's another X. X marks the spot, and I seem to be always under the spot. So look at that. Isn't it beautiful, though? Isn't it heavenly, the clouds? When you get some nice cloud scenery, right? Sometimes the clouds are just breathtaking. Have all the layers. There's so much right now. You're looking at like 3, 4, 5 different layers of clouds, right? They form, they accumulate. You ever notice how clouds form themselves in the middle of nowhere, like around the moon and the sun? Do you guys know that I believe that the sun and the moon are the reason why it rains on Earth? Do you know that? Maybe in the past, the moon got so close to Earth during the flood, and that's what caused the flood. Maybe the moon was extremely close, and it was always water here. And then when the water started dissipating, it's because the moon started going further away. And now the moon is going further away, and we seem to be having our water levels go down. So check it out. There's that cloud that I showed at the beginning of the video, which is not refraction in the cloud from the sun. It's the actual cloud that is. So let's head over to the moon. Yep, a lot of good, cool stuff I want to show you guys and gals. Hey, thanks everyone for the ongoing support. Can't thank you all enough. I repeat myself. Well, you know why? Because it was a dream for me to be able to be on YouTube and to do this, to be able to find people that are interested in this amazing finding. I mean, my first few videos, I was crying in it. I was that happy when I found UFOs and structures on the moon. Is this a refrigeration system? Listen, guys, seriously. You see the construction? On top of that, there's a perfectly symmetrical line that is all lined up beside that structure or object. A ramp, rampart, whatever you want it to be. It's pretty incredible. Have you guys seen less than this show up in the news? I've seen less than this show up in the news. Literally, like one square. So if we're talking about connections to squares, One, two, three, four. There's a whole bunch of straight symmetrical objects there. Do you see the L shape alongside of the ledge right there? That object, a complete perfect wall in L, everything's connected. Those two structures are all connected. Looks like highways. It's incredible.